A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again, Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
A blessed good day to you, my wisdom warriors. Wagwan, wagwan. I hope you guys are in good spirit, my people. Me say me have a piece of bangarang for drop on uno. But before me get in at the bangarang, take a listen to this.
U.S.-based attorney Wayne Golding is warning Jamaicans holding green cards and those applying for residency in the U.S. that they could be impacted by the Trump administration's decision to re-examine every green cards issued to individuals who immigrated to the U.S. from 19 countries. The 19 countries include Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela, 10 from Africa, and 6 from Asia. The head of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, Joseph Edlow, announced that President Trump had directed him to conduct a full-scale re-examination of every green card for every alien and from every country of concern. Mr. Golding, speaking with our news center, cautioned that the sweeping policy will affect green card holders in the Caribbean, but urged them to be calm.
It's specifically geared at 19 countries, specific countries that are listed by the administration. Now, yes, it may have an effect on other green card holders from other countries, being that a full-scale operation like this will definitely slow down the service for other green card holders or people seeking to get their green card. But right now it's limited to 19 countries and designated third world countries. So people need to just be calm. We have to wait and see how the administration rolls out this examination and what is the process going to be. And of course, if people who have green cards are going to be affected, what the appellate process would be for them if they get caught up into a decision to remove their green card or put them under further investigation.
The St. Mary Municipal Corporation is stepping up cleaning activities in the parish. It follows confirmation of at least one case of leptospirosis in the parish stemming from the passage of Hurricane Melissa. A team from the Municipal Corporation and the Public Health Department started the operation in Port Maria Sunday morning. Mayor of Port Maria, Fitzroy Wilson, said while the parish was spared from the worst impacts of the hurricane, they cannot take the leptospirosis cases lightly. As of November 26, 21 cases of leptospirosis were confirmed in the island, 3 before the hurricane and 18 in the aftermath.
Or that there was confirmed cases of leptospirosis in St. Mary, and we want to be proactive and prevent further cases. So we're working closely with the health department to see how we can do that. And today is the beginning of such.
To get rid of bulky waste. The bulky waste are stuff that such as fridge, stove, etc. that is not lying on the ground, not in use, and those things based on what he's doing in terms of getting rid of or trying to get rid of the leptospirosis. These things would have stayed there and gather all sorts of stuff. So we're here to assist him in that form, and we have removed a lot so far.
Including some stars.
In stars, yes, including stars that were served with notice of removal for quite some time, so we would have removed all those also.
I had raised the issue of your electronic distribution, the moving from electronic and the human rights implications in relation to persons who didn't have IDs and stuff. Yeah.
$6.8 billion. $6.8 billion is sufficient. We couldn't expect to borrow everything that we need. And we will have to fund some of it from our own revenues, which is why I've been emphasizing that we need to.
And Northwest and the member from Portland East.
Madam Speaker, we will now have a statement by
we need for hear what go on. We think, but we don't want to hear the mic them not for lock off. And now we cannot believe we send our workers them go work now, and then lock off mic. That not supposed to happen.
Member from St. Catherine and Northwest and the member from Portland Eastern.
We need to hear every talking that take place in the Parliament.
I ask Prime Minister that based on your analysis and the numbers you have received, is the 6.7 billion sufficient? And if not, what percent of what you think we need over the next 3 to 5 years is the 6.7 billion? Thank you.
Hold on, Prime Minister.
I had raised the issue of your electronic distribution, the moving from electronic and the human rights implications in relation to persons who didn't have IDs and stuff. Yeah.
$6.8 billion. $6.8 billion is sufficient. We couldn't expect to borrow everything that we need. And we will have to fund some of it from our own revenues, which is why I've been emphasizing that we need to keep the economy going. Let's get back to normal quickly.
We can't get back to normal.
Envelope. I'm certain.
Andrew, there's Jamaica can't get back to normal until the rest of parish them come back on their feet. So this normal we are talking about is an illusion. Because you can't get back normal with half of the country and talk about it is normal. That is not normal. That is abnormal. So any normal you talk about are when the whole of Jamaica go back better than how they stay before. So this urgency we depend, if we put this urgency and forget back the people them back on them foot. And that's the only normalcy if you talk about.
It's not going to cover everything, but it is far more than we have ever had, and it is certainly a significant part of what we will need. It's very hard to estimate. The asset damage is 8.8 billion. So we have been given 6.7 billion. So that's substantial. Remember now, some of the asset damage is not on the account of government. Some of the asset damage would be hotels which are privately owned, businesses which are privately owned. So a large part, in other words, I'm certain that
JPS, which are 80% privately owned. JPS, which is 80% privately owned. So JPS is not part of our spending either, because 80% privately owned. See, I talk about hotel and other business were privately owned. JPS, majority are privately owned. But I don't hear mention JPS because I don't want to thief the money through JPS.
we will cover what is on the government's balance sheet with this amount of money that is left to us. No.
Isaac Buchanan.
I would love to allow you. However, there's a member on the government side who would like to ask a question after the questions were responded to, and it is not being allowed. So I will turn over to House Leader.
Isaac Buchanan.
House.
Isaac Buchanan. Answer Isaac Buchanan question.
House Leader.
Juliet Owens. Look, you see where Juliet Owens are though? Juliet Owens now and Owens answer Isaac Buchanan question about this digital system. Juliet, big dirty stink, dirty boring girl, Juliet. Allow your thieving man to make answer Isaac Buchanan question before you go to the House Leader. Andrew Wallace, answer Isaac Buchanan question. Isaac Buchanan. Isaac Buchanan question.
The member from Portland East.
Isaac Buchanan question.
So Prime Minister was to respond.
Isaac Buchanan question. Isaac Buchanan question. Juliet, go suck your mother and come out of the Parliament, Warren girl.
Asked a question regarding
digital
human rights of persons will be respected when we transition to the mainstreaming of the relief effort. Yes, notice we use the term vouchers, both physical or electronic. And in our traditional standard way of giving social support, members, the persons who receive it, are required to have some.
You see where Warren Juliet just had to look a while. Delano, why not take out a blood clot mad side girl out of bomber clot Parliament? Why not take out a side girl out of Parliament? Because the way I see her hug him up and half a fear girl, you know. The fucking dirty Warren House Speaker want the thieving man not to answer Isaac Buchanan question. It's so much time she talk about, she go pass it on to the House Leader, Juliet Wallace. You know more would I like Rhoda Crawford for breed for trophy your man. Would I like Rhoda Crawford for breed for trophy your man in a real life. Would I like Rhoda Crawford breed for your man in a real life. You know? Would I like Rhoda Crawford bring belly in a Parliament and can show you. Say man are the best baby father for show. You know? You know why Andrew Wallace answer Isaac Buchanan question. You see why we are saying dirty Warren Juliet Wallace is a conflict of interest in our Parliament. These are the things we are talking about. Dirty nasty Warren Juliet Wallace not in our Parliament. Big dirty foot ginger toe Juliet Wallace not in our Parliament. She's a conflict of interest. She no want a man to answer Isaac Buchanan question. When them tell them say Isaac Buchanan question, she want the House Leader to take over and continue without a man answer Isaac Buchanan question. These are the things we talk about when we say conflict of interest. This Bigfoot Warren girl for come out of a Parliament. This Bigfoot Warren girl for just evacuate her dirty Warren self out of a Parliament. This is, when we talk about conflict of interest, that's what we are talking about. That's what we are talking about. It's how she Margaret don't like she have AIDS. It's how she Margaret don't like she have AIDS.
Some form of identification. It is the requirement of our government that persons who are receiving benefits from the government have some form of identification. In this phase of the relief, that was not instituted. There was no request or requirement for persons to produce IDs. I am being clear. There was no directive from the government of Jamaica for anyone to produce any form of ID. I am not saying it didn't happen. I have heard things being said. We have not received any formal reports of that, but we were very clear to the agents, including the JDF, including the Ministry of Labour and Social.
All right. You see that now? C44, CW44. You see that now? Either come like one man will tell lies say him have sex with one girl. Like no one man will tell lies say.
You made mention of the human dignity component with your transition to digital cards or an alternative means to food distribution. In your presentation, I note that the purpose of loans, albeit that you are celebrating, and we ought to celebrate restoring the country, the aspect as to whether or not there was any consideration of persons who simply won't be able to access your electronic system to access basic necessities for the food and anything else that comes with it. Also, in terms of an allocation, is there a specific sum that goes to the persons who are the primary victims and should be the ultimate beneficiary of any loan given? That is to ensure that the lives of the people are restored in a position better or at a minimum to the position they were before the disaster. And ask lastly that any consideration should consider the Constitution and the guidance on human rights when that is done. Thank you.
My wisdom warriors, I left it, wanna tell me what wanna think, wanna tell me how wanna feel about all this, and put an honest opinion in the comment section. Like up the video, share it out, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome, my people. Don't forget, I want to go over my other channel. It is called Lady Press. Subscribe and get me to 10K. Blessings, one love.
Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it all goes to comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.